What is up, Longhorn Nation? It's your host, Jonathan Davis, the host of Locked On Longhorns, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And what a great day to be a Longhorn fan. The University of Texas football program checking in with the number 5 recruiting class in the country. And of course, we just got the news that 5-star offensive lineman, number 1 offensive lineman in the country, Devon Campbell, has committed to the University of Texas. Steven Sarkisian did a really good job this year, invested in the trenches. 15 of the 29 recruits are on the offensive and defensive lines. And of course, the offensive line class is one of the best we've seen, if not the best we've seen in the University of Texas football program history, with 2 5-star offensive linemen and Devon Campbell and Kelvin coming into the program. And then he also recruited 3 4-star offensive linemen who should get some playing time really soon at the 40 acres. This is a really good recruiting class, of course, with the number 1 prospect in the class being Devon Campbell. Bowie High School, Arlington, Texas, just a dominant interior guard who's super athletic, played defensive tackle at Bowie, also played basketball. He can dunk at 6'3", 310. And he's a force, whether he's blocking at the point of attack. He can get out on the outside. You can use him to pull as a lead blocker. And when he gets to the second level on linebackers and DBs, he's practically unstoppable. And so I think that this is a huge part of what Steven Sarkisian wants to do. Of course, he came from Alabama. And Alabama is always big on the offensive and defensive lines, especially in the trenches. And I really see that as the vision for Steven Sarkisian and his Texas program moving forward. He wants to dominate on the offensive and defensive lines. He wants to dominate with that run game, especially with Bijan Robinson, who I think is the best running back in the country. And then outside of that, allow Quinn Ewers to spread the defense out and get the ball to the weapons on the outside. But this team is going to win games in the trenches, and it starts with getting the 2 best offensive linemen in the country. Now, they both went to high school in Texas, so maybe that gave the Longhorns an advantage, but it does not matter. The 2 top offensive linemen, 2 5-star offensive linemen, along with 3 4-stars are coming to the Texas Longhorns football program. Devon Campbell, who is just an absolute dude, the number 1 offensive lineman in the country, once again, is coming to the 40 acres. He is coming to the University of Texas. Also, Kelvin, a 5-star offensive tackle. I look for both of them to get a lot of playing time, if not starting right away next year. And they're going to be a big part of what Steven Sarkisian wants to do on offense, dominating in the trenches with Heisman hopeful and the best running back in the country, Bijan Robinson. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this a huge get for the University of Texas? Will this help them win the Big 12 next year and ultimately make their way to the college football playoff for the first time? Let us know your thoughts on Kelvin, Devon Campbell, the 5th ranked recruiting class in the country by the Texas Longhorns. Let us know what you think. And as always, make sure you tune in to Locked On Longhorns, your daily number 1 source for all things Texas athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Jonathan Davis, once again signing off. Thank you, Longhorn Nation. Peace.